Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Last time, Salbar let us know that our supplies are mysteriously dwindling. So, hold on a minute. Yeah. Yes, so I had a really moment like, did I switch that off? Also, off. I don't know if you saw my last, Sonic Sunday stream, but yeah, that was a bit. Anyway, yeah, Salbar let us know our supplies were mysteriously dwindling, so let's go see what's the cause of this, shall we? Nope. That's the engine. Hi, Sex. Yeah, someone is stealing our supplies. Where are they? Show yourselves, I've got lightsabers. They're in supply. That's what I do. Let's quickly make this lightsaber. Yellow lightsaber. That in here. Come on. Where are you? There's someone in it. There's someone about. Show yourself. I'm stuck on something. Come on, where are ya? Come on. There you are.
Kipuna, Bonana Kichu.
Hey, what you doing here?
Selima Wanga Kunbikin.
Hang on a little girl, I won't hurt you.
Mucho shakapaga.
I still don't understand what you're saying.
Mucho shakapaga.
Does the name Le Aka ring a bell? What about Under Utsalim? Oh, you're still away, aren't you? How long you been here? Can you tell me your name? Chad is Rick. Who are you?
Mucho shakapaga.
Sasa? Is your name
Mucho
Sasa?
shakapaga.
Ah!
Tonki ba non.
Then you were speaking. When you were speaking a Mandalorian.
Kipuna, Bonana Kichu.
Okay, Mandalorian is bad, I get it.
Selima Wanga Kunbikin.
I understand Mandalorian, but your words are all mixed up. Where are you from, Sessa? Taris? That's the name. How do you get on my ship?
Tonki ba non tontek.
Let's everything is safe, is that right?
Tonki ba non tontek.
That panel? That was what the shift
Kipuna,
means?
Bonana Kichu.
Oh, Raiders, hello! I got Raiders for the first time. Hello, that's a nice surprise. We are trying to learn a mysterious alien language. Panel. Is it your home? The shift means
Kipuna,
home?
Bonana Kichu.
Say something else, Sasa.
Tonki ba non tontek.
I also sound.
Tong abuk sham.
I see you, or you see
Dong
me.
abuk shami.
Ah, you're hiding! No, so it's to
Dong
hide!
ki ba non ton. Selima wang.
Bush stab,
Dong
what's that mean?
abuk shami non.
Is it your home? Is that what
Mucho
you mean?
shakapaka.
Starship! Does it mean Starship?
Dong
Hello,
abuk
buddy,
shami no
Matt,
no.
that's nice of you to come. You're hiding in the Starship. It's your home, I
Mucho
understand.
shakapaka.
You said before, what does Goniston?
Mucho shakapaka.
Something about me? Yes.
Dong
What about
abuk
me?
shami no nok.
Neither do I. No, that's not
Mucho
it.
shakapaka.
Say something
Mucho
else.
shakapaka.
You said that before. What is
Mucho
Goniston?
shakapaka.
You said that.
Dong
Right?
abuk shami.
Oh, it means you like
Mucho
it.
shakapaka.
You like me. I
Selima
understand.
wanga.
Now the best. You said that when I first found you.
Kipona. Bona na kichu.
That means hit. Is that what it
Kipona.
is?
Bona na.
It's a hurt. Now that means not hurt. Is that
Dong
it?
ki ba.
I understand. No, I won't hurt you.
Dong ki ba non tontek.
Yeah. What kind
Dong
of word
abuk
is
shami no nok.
that? Is it partnership?
Mucho shakapaka.
Food! Yum is food!
Selima wanga kun bitkin.
Nah. Not good. Is that all one
Kipona.
phrase?
Bona na kichu.
Floor. Gosh means floor?
Kipona. Bona na kichu.
You're not speaking. Gosh means now. I guess means is not.
Kipona.
You want some food now? You're hungry?
Dong ki ba non tontek.
Taboo, what do you mean?
Selima wanga kun bitkin.
I don't understand how to
Dong
think about it.
ki ba. Mucho shakapaka.
I'm supposed to talk? Speak? What? You mean to tell a story? What
Dong
about?
ki ba non.
Tell me about it. I
Dong
get it.
ki ba. Mucho shakapaka.
Is there's someone who will take you home? Lo abak. Come on, sir. You lafafa.
Dong abuk shami no no.
If that's all that we'll see. So, guess we've got to take a side trip to Banterine again. But first, I believe we're on a totally new planet. Well, not really a planet. This is more of a space station. So, yeah, I'm just like a packet to you too. And also, thank you very much for coming here for the first time, Raiden. It's nice to see someone new. I know I've seen you in some other streams, but yeah, it's nice to see you on here. And how to hear anyone else today? Yeah, we're playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Ha! Still got it. Don't play it, I feel bad. It happens all the time, huh? Interested in the game? Let's play. Huh? Apparently I've been moved into Berserk. No, I think Sax was here from the start. I think that cutscene glitched. Oh, I'm getting lucky today. Ah, come on. How did my muffin do it to myself? Ah! You get a bit of both. Yes. Come on. Get a bad hand. Ah, come on. Yes!
Kakinjan ki mulira kun ichuta ki muli kakin.
My game glitched! That was weird. Let's try that again, shall we? That was a weird freaky deaky glitch. Maybe I should leave and come back? I'm gonna try leaving and coming back. I think my game's glitched somehow. But anyway, like I said, we gotta take Sessa home. I can't believe Yavin glitched the way it did. That was weird. We'll try coming back to Yavin another time. To be fair, I do want to come back here quite often. Basically, I went to Yavin Station, the screen went all black, I played a game of Berserk and it didn't come back. It's just my luck lately, everything wants to glitch on me. Anyway, let's go take this girl home. Oh, hello.
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat. Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off.
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way?
Mission gets a little rudder when it comes to her brother.
Yeah, I know how she feels. Griff can be pretty frustrating. I guess that's why Mission didn't want to come with us when we left Terrace.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the hut spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
Ooh.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Maybe he thought you'd be better for on Tara's mission?
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people.
Wow.
That's why he abandoned you.
Griff sounds
Did the
like a
same
piece
thing
of
to me,
work.
too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out.
Sounds like you're... So where's Griff now?
Still on Tatooine as far as I know. Not that I really care anymore. And if Mission was smart, she'd forget about that no-good con artist.
But Griff is my brother. I just can't pretend he doesn't exist. If he was here to defend himself, Lena wouldn't be saying all this bad stuff about him.
Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard, he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then.
Okay.
Kukuno
Guess I've got
no
me to go to... more you to go to Tatooine.
Donghit kun
Oh, please, Agent.
Ne boboje
Time for a
mata.
question? Go ahead.
Shi gratulo da.
Oh, I was considered to include the name of Wootchil Loro. His rank was considered difficult with man and raiders for many years. As young daughter was kidnapped by those raiders many years ago, and not been returned. Might have any news on her? Her name is Sasa. There's a stowaway on my ship by the name of Sasa. Oh, there's most exciting new sentence. Are you sure of this? You can come aboard and see her for yourself if you like. I don't think I have more than assumption, but I'm not an assumption. Are you certain it's human assessor? Yes, she's speaking some smatterings of Mandalorian, but I was able to figure it out. You convinced me, Sentient. That stowaway is indeed the one I seek. Will you allow me to see her? Certainly, I'll bring you to my ship. Let's go. I'm most anxious to see her. I thought you were... For your age, young Sentient. I do believe you indeed want to see. I'm here to return to your father.
Mucho shakapaka.
I see, so it's correct about your linguistic difficulties. I'm positive that your parents can assist you with that.
Tipuna. Bona na kichu.
Hurry yourself, child. I will take you home.
Dong abuk shami no nok.
Olak Nabas no Gizilazifa Sasa.
Dong ki ba non tontek. Selima wanga kun bikin.
Thank you for your assistance, Sentient. I'm sure the girl's parents will be very appreciative of your efforts. Okay. Let's try to go back to Yavin and see if we can get to actually work. Oh, I can't believe Yavin gets like this. I wonder if I wonder that assassin mission somehow ruined it. I don't want to put that blame on a young soul like that. But it could be that's a possibility. Oh, I just realised I've got to do some updating. Excuse me a minute, guys. I'm just sorting out my stream. Oh, God damn it. Trying to shut my stream. And make sure all the information on it is correct. Not having a good day. I'm not having a good time with things at the moment. Now, everyone cross their fingers that Taris will, not Taris, Yavin will work. God, Taris is not gonna work. That place has been bombed. The Kingdom Come. I said, have you been far enough for my video now so I can get right saying fuck? Yeah. Taris has been blowing the Kingdom fucking Come.
Kakincha ki muli. Ichuta ki mulira. Kakincha.
Yavin's broken! That's not fair! Oh, Yavin's broken, guys! That's not good!
Yeah, what do you want?
I want to get more, can you give me more adrenals or something?
Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a speed boosting stim. There anything else you need?
I was wondering if you could tell me more war stories.
I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim.
Yes,
destroying all who fought us.
I'll
Young
take that
Mandalores
as,
proved themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above a
what I
thousand
mean,
worlds. Each brought
that
back
space
stories
station
of
should
his
be like a
achievements.
massive shop. I can get some cool stuff, but now I can't anymore.
I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world. Its
I
defenses
should be
just
going
stirring.
speak to a
As was
shopkeeper
tradition,
and buy stuff.
I would
but
go
no,
ahead of the first wave
it's
to
broken.
find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle.
I don't think Mandalorian's got a
Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below.
You dropped out of orbit riding a
The
droid.
exhilaration, the euphoria
I want
I
to jump-
felt as I streaked
Yeah,
into the
makes sense.
atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry.
Yeah, I can always
and
try
with
that.
barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and
I'll
skimmed the
talk
surface,
to everyone here,
firing
just
at the
little
giant
kind of
beam generators that were in my path.
de-stress
The
and, like,
explosion from that
try and get
sent
things to work.
shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life.
That's horrible.
I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now. But I really don't want to talk about this anymore.
You are
I
about
trust
to-
I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else?
That's
Your
fine.
choice.
I'm gonna go see Miss and CC's alright. Hey, Miss.
Hey there. What can I do for you?
I want to talk to you about your
Don't tell
brother.
me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story is Bantha Poodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Circa Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again.
We'll find your brother, Mission.
I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do. Hey there. What? No
Seriously?
problem. Anything else you need?
What place
Want
for
to
that?
practice your skill?
No, I was going to set by deck. The way it was before, so. This is purely practice Berserk, so. Oh fuck. Yes, okay. Do you want me to complete 5 comic spikes for me? You don't talk much, do you? Just tell me your own advice. You get some more spikes from you. Just spamming the spikes now. So I get some, till you decide I don't need any more. I was quite low on spikes. Okay. Bye! You made a spikes. Where's your grenades? Hello, Jahani.
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before in the Grove. It was wrong of me.
You thought the dark side had consumed you. It was nothing.
I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own.
Don't worry, Jahani. I forgive you.
Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
I don't really take that much, Jahani. Don't worry. Hey, Bastila.
How can I help?
There's someone I wanted to ask.
I do.
You want to ask me? Educated guess by the way you
I'm a
stare.
Jedi. I am far too disciplined to betray my emotions with outward physical displays. We both know the real reason you have some idea of what I'm thinking, the bond we share.
What do you mean?
Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you.
What do you think I should
I
do?
don't think there's much you can do. If things were different, I would recommend several years of training under one of the Jedi Masters, but I fear that won't be possible. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force.
I will try.
That's good to hear. Without the proper training, however, I'm afraid you will find the path difficult even with the best of intentions. There's great danger ahead for both of us. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well.
Don't worry, I won't do anything to hurt you.
I believe you truly mean what you say, for now. But sometimes it is not so easy to keep such promises. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light.
I'd appreciate any help you can offer.
I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
I would expect to mission, it's fine.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Been very quiet lately. You know that.
Have I been quiet? Suppose I have. I guess I just don't like being left out of the loop.
Left out the loop, I don't understand.
Left out of the loop, you know, not being told anything, strung along. It's really starting to irritate me. For one thing, I want to know what the Jedi Council said to you. They pulled you in there and refused to tell me a thing about it. I'm rather curious to know what went on, and why they didn't keep you on Dantooine for training. Isn't that strange?
They thought it was more important that I help find the star maps and stay.
And why is that? You were a great help on Terrace, but why would they keep you with us? Don't they have to train you?
They said there's a bond between me and Bastila and myself.
Bond? What kind of bond? You mean to say that they told you that you were tied to Bastila in some way? I have trouble believing that. You're a neophyte Padawan who's been saddled with the responsibility of tracking down these star maps. Why? That's not normal. I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason.
That's another bond. We have to do this together. That's all I'm going to say.
And what does that mean? What, is this more of that destiny garbage that the Jedi keep talking about? Well, that can't be it. Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm not going to wait around until I'm betrayed again.
I am not going to betray you. I am not sure.
Yeah, we'll just see about that, won't we? Look, I didn't mean it that way. I want to get to Saul, not... No, forget it. It just seems that all I can do is insult you, isn't it? Just forget I said anything. Let's just get on with what we were doing.
God, this guy's like Kaden, but worse. I want to quickly try something first. I don't understand why Yavin's not working. But then, everything in my life doesn't seem to be working at the moment, so... Yeah! I'm not surprised. Yeah, that other one was like a practice playthrough I did, but I wanted to be a bit naughty. Yes, Sax! I'm trying your tip, by the way, Sax.
What? Yes?
Well, you know what, I'll save before I touch the panel. No, I'm really frustrated that it's glitching.
Kakin Jaki Mulira. Ichuta ki muli. Tong hitwama achua penki. Diska dosoki ki muli ra.
It's just fun because look, all the stuff I could buy, but no. So disappointed, Sax. Well, I could get some pretty epic, nice stuff. I want to try coming back at a later date. Maybe I'll try finishing off Tatooine. Yep, we're going to Tatooine. Partly because I asked some friends off stream where to go, but also, like I said, Mrs. Brother's on Mrs. Brother's there, so I'm going to take her to go see her brother. Oh, no. Thanks, Sax. It's really nice to be. I find really funny. Like we've gone from Dantooine to Tatooine. I don't know where Chadwick is home today, but the piggies are here. Had quite a lot of people. I had a lot of people come around today, so I think he's a bit sensory overloaded. Bless him. Oh. In a dream. What's he dreaming about? Star map. Looks like it's in some kind of cave. On me. The Force has given us a vision, like the one
has
we
given us a vision, like the one we shared on Dantooine. Did you see it? Of course. You must have. The Force is strong with us both. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes.
It looked like it was in some kind of cave.
The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Indeed. Mission and Bachelor.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve. After some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
Tatooine. Oh! Yeah, I know it's in Tunisia, but yeah. What if I don't use
That
money?
would be unfortunate. Zerka Corporation can't afford to extend credit. Everyone pays. That's the rule.
Is there a way that you reconsider
I
the fee?
assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world.
Ready? You don't need to pay it. You don't need to pay the fee.
I don't think you need to pay the fee. We'll let it go this time.
Well, that was easy. I sure wish I had special mind-affecting force powers.
This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
Give me some background on Tatooine.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look.
Tell me about circus operations here.
I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it.
You want to tell me more about it?
I can tell you more, I guess. It's not a big secret or anything. Just not good for business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempted sabotage by a rival company.
So, Zerka Corporation set up shop on the barren planet?
Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties.
That's why I
They've had to
invested
look
in
at
it.
Other forms of business.
You mean... What do you mean that the ore is peculiar?
Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it.
Is there any other forms of business on this planet being looked at here?
Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks.
Swoop?
Tracking business has been
Swoop?
slow, however.
What do you know about the history of this planet?
Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals.
What species do you mean?
The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate.
You have issue? You have trouble with the Sand People?
Not personally, but they've given Zerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it.
Where should a person look for
It
opportunity?
depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in Central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them.
Actually, I really need to get
As
going.
you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Yes. Yes. So am I thinking right that the Jawas were loosely inspired just the way that the local Tunisians would dress to help shelter from the sandstorms? And like George Lucas liked it so much he kept them in the he, like designed characters around it. Oh, who's that? You get a message, customer? I'm talking to you better. Hello, customer. You buy from Mike Turner's John? Don't be shy. Do you really like it? What you got for sale? I think we'll wait for now, actually. I have some questions for you. Here it says, what do you need to know? Do you know anything about Tatooine? That's an alien.
Kun mulira slimo poiwanga tangi tuamaji human ak ikatune Baba Hassan Shan Chiwi aita ka chong chi ki mulira Chiwa aita kan ki cha na chupornibo Chiwi aita ka chong chi cha agi inko tune Achua penki Yun patisa Baba Hassan Shan Noba mulira chilai kunka Chiwi aita ka chong chi cha Agi inko tune chuna chiwa aita Chiwi aita ka chong chicha Agi in chiwa ai chiwi aita Baba Hassan Kimba no
Hello there, Captain. Let's see. Ah, yes. Looks like the shipment has been delivered to your ship as requested. Shipment? What are you talking about? This is Docking Bay 32? Is it? Yes. I was ordered to customs over here. Have you been order? The Gizka, you're from now. Excuse me? Did you say Gizka? Yes. Here on the manifest. Ordered freight Gizka to be delivered to Docking Bay 32. What? Excuse me? What? Who knows? It could be spewing in pain, but our ears can't hear it.
Tatooine's a dust bowl, and that's all it'll ever be.
Hello?
Please, will you help me? I have nothing left.
What do you need? I'm trying to work. I'll help if I can.
Oh, thank you. I don't have anywhere else to turn. If you're down and out on Tatooine, you're on your own. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to Faza without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare.
I wouldn't be able to sell it. I'm no hunter.
No? But you looked... I'm sorry. I thought you looked equipped like a hunter. Are you sure you're not going to be getting a license? I mean, you don't look like a farmer, and the only way to be allowed out of Anchorhead is to get a hunting license.
Where do I get a license and what's the
Zerka
cost?
Corporation sells them out of their office just south of here in the center of Anchorhead. That's where my husband got his. I think they charge 200 credits, but they've been known to make exceptions. Please, no one else will help.
Let's talk about what to do with that.
Will you buy
plate.
it? I can't sell it myself. They are worth more than 500 credits.
I can't buy it, but I could take it to someone to sell it for you.
I don't know. How could I be sure you would come back?
is the only choice you have, so you have to trust
I guess
me.
I don't have much choice in the matter. Here, I'll trust you with it. I'll be here. Please don't take
You're hearing about this, you should have to puppet. I'm not gonna let this drop. This murder a whole village. Don't tell me he's not my son. I won't cooperate you. You'll cover chaos. What's going on here? Who are you? I'm done talking to this office. I ain't interested in anything he's listening. I heard that. I don't know. Tongue-tied. Typical sort of person. What happens when they no accountability? Don't bother bringing it up. Damn.
Can I help you? These are the offices of the Zerka Corporation. I trust you have business with the company. If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses.
I want to ask about hunting
As I
licenses.
said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many people cavorting.
Shit.
We use them to ensure that only people judged fit by Zerka Corporation are allowed outside the city. We don't allow casual exploration because of legal concerns. Zerka Corporation takes no responsibility for loss of life on the dunes. It's just so we can keep track of people. No one leaves the city without a Zerka hunting license.
Is there no to get a license?
Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The Sand People are becoming a problem. They destroy our sand crawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains.
Oh, agreed to do this.
Excellent. Now, just so we understand each other, this is an enforceable contract. Zerka Corporation takes this very seriously. Here's your license, and a few directions. We believe one of their enclaves is in the far south of the Dune Sea. You might try following one of our sand crawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them.
I'm gonna try first.
Very
question.
well.
I'm looking for a man named Griff.
Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerka Corporation payroll.
Are you certain of that? I would leave soon if I knew.
Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it.
Yep, that sounds like him.
We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him.
The Sand People?
He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances.
So your workers are all expendable?
Zerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job.
Is there some kind of wolf or
As I
something?
said, all employees have signed. I suppose you could apply for special dispensation from the Zerka Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please.
Ah. Hey man, can I talk about something else?
Very well, though I do have work to get back to.
Oh dear. I want to ask about Soul Corporation.
Of course. Zerka Corporation records are available at our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. For your needs here, we maintain a fully stocked storehouse. Speak with Greta Holda about any purchases.
May I ask how long your operation yeah.
Certainly. Please pose your question.
Tell me the secrets. The company has stuck you here. Tell me.
I suppose you're right. It's not like you can't tell the state of things just by looking around. Mining operations here have not been a success. The ore is substandard, and there's less of it than surveys indicated. With the Sand People raids on top of it all, it's no wonder this planet has been abandoned before.
That makes it all substandard.
No one knows. There are odd energy fluctuations on this planet, but they defy analysis or explanation. But the effect is obvious. Ore taken from Tatooine is useless for construction. It degrades incredibly fast. Word is getting out about it too. We're running out of buyers. Zerka Corporation is not doing well here.
Does it mean you plan to pull out?
The company would be foolish to stay. It will be costly, but in the end, leaving will be cheaper than staying. I imagine all the heavy equipment will be abandoned. It's not worth shipping out things like sandcrawlers. Maybe the Jawas will find a use for them when we're gone. That's a laugh.
What do you mean plans were abandoned before?
We can't ignore evidence that Anchorhead was settled more than once before, and abandoned each time. There's probably a century between each attempt, just long enough for records about why it failed to disappear. The Jawas scavenge ancient tech all the time. It's a remote world. Who knows what's here? Very well.
Anything ordinary happening?
I assume that by out of the ordinary, you're referring to the destruction of Terrace? That is all anyone is talking about. I'm afraid Zerka Corporation is not offering any comment on those events. We wouldn't wish to anger the participants.
Do you know anything more local?
If you're looking for local events, I suggest you go to the Swoop Track, one of the few leisure industries on Tatooine. There was also a Jawa here earlier, saying something about needing help. I think he's out by the city gates. I can't be more specific about what he wanted. Our droid translators had difficulty with the message. Farewell.
Oh, hey Bachelor.
How can I help?
You want to speak to me?
Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord. You must prepare yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan.
Is it true that you killed, Darth Revan?
It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi Strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however.
So you had a message from my friend to make sure they're okay. But that's not what I heard.
Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on board it. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded.
What was the threat from the Sith?
True, I suppose. And yet the outcome of that battle was unexpected. To all of us. Revan's end was unforeseen. As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive. The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
What does Holder want?
Oh
Oh yes, it's this one. My storehouse. I'll ask about bounties. I'm not on my fair. You better speak to Short Corporation. Talk to the patrol officer. I'll ask about Circle Corporation. Go after the Circle Corporation. I was collect credits at the end of the day. That's not mine as well. Do you think how do you think they're doing on Tatooine? Doesn't matter what I think. Maybe they pull up, maybe they won't. I'll man the store on the next one. Let's go on to the first question. What do you avail? Anything at all happening? Let's call it a phone task going down. I don't have a view on. Okay, what about a local opinion? I don't care. I said in the equipment. I would all I care when I. Very first question. In person, most of these standard circle questions for flows. Not to keep the levels that we have a look. Hold up, nothing I really need at the moment. I've got a hunting license. Let's go to the hunting place. Don't be aware of those circles. There's always a conflict and conflict. They're just lazy. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Second mines have been attacked by Sentinels, so the Total Corporation has been killed. They didn't ask you. They didn't ask you. Some people aren't animals. I've watched them. They're intelligent. They must be able to peacefully stop the attacks. I know. But we try, of course. They won't leave the city of proof. They want the Sand people dead. Circus said the Sand people attacked first. Well, yes, they did. But they attacked the Circus Corporation, who deployed the giant sand and started tearing up the desert with our Eon shells. Everywhere else. What have you done? The Sand people seem like an invasion. There's no negotiation for territory or resources. I don't think killing them is justified, but there must be, as a matter of conservation, I'm hoping someone will at least try and talk them out. What would you suggest then? Communication. At least we could treat them, but they don't talk. At least not in their language. But average Sunday, even if they're a few as well, would they get through them? I think it ended in blood too. I'm not saying it would be easy, but maybe a real translation droid, not these old vocal droids scrap heaps walking around. We would have a capable droid. Pretty rare, even though it's not the world. I've heard that someone unusual droids to appear on Tatooine. I'm sure he talked to Yuko Yaka. He could speak, Sal and Droid might be able to help to talk to them. Someone would get into the Enclave. Where does Enclave be mentioned? Well, I get robes back stairs. I suppose you could take them off Royal Raiders and DMC, but there's no ways. No way else to survive like that. To explain if we killed the Royals from that piece, I suppose there's no other way. Maybe I'll look into it. Oh, that's for certain concern, but then they start shooting again. The fight won't stop until they're all dead. Or until Circa leaves. Well, likely, things are going to be bah. What do I know? A droid? A droid? Anyway, this should be. There's a.
You're back. Please.
I'm sorry, I'll come back. Eager Beaver and success? Who's kudos? Hello, human. Are you a hunter like me and the others here? I'm not here for the life. What do you mean? I've done play against Berserks. I'm not sure that many people try a person to keep the Berserks. I play with such fellow innocent, but I find him distasteful. He does not play for the same reasons I do. Anybody have questions? Can I ask about Tatooine? Oh, I doubt it. Play more the rest of these fellas. I've set foot on Anchor, so I don't know why anyone else would want to know. Having a very hospitable place. I'll be going soon as my parts of my ship arrive, but it may take some time though. Any rumors off planet? Nothing since some what was in Texas. The project is reading from nuts. That's all we know. It's troubling. But let's call a stop for the day. We've survived worse and will again. But that's just the way things are. Let's make things dark! I think my voice is going a bit. Ugh. Shit. Fuck. Yes!
I
don't want to lose the game as one swiftly. Obviously, you have some ability. I'm glad for the competition. We should play some more. Perhaps we could raise the stakes? Maybe later. Anyway, let's go talk to these people for... Well... Comrade Fortuna. Oh yes, is there something you wish, human? Information, if we could... Information, if it would trouble us, where we had for a moment. Oh, she's very respectful human. Talk is such a nice sincerity. Who are you? What are you doing? I'm Comrade Fortuna. I'm a hunter and a member of the Lodge. It's not the life of everyone, but I'm content. Where's the best hunting? Best hunting is ever the best hunter is. It's a total answer. Human, but I'm African. It depends what you seek. Rivers are plentiful here, and schools of hunting. Dragons only appear to the true hunter. Dragon? Patience is key. Great dragons hunt alone, and their prey is wherever they can catch, wherever catches their attention. So dragons are rare. Are they dangerous? They're both rare and dangerous. For an honor to hunt them, you should do it. So rather than bless your favour, respect them. Try some lessons. Some try some lessons for a match hunting on the battle boys or a solo hunt. Who uses battle boys? I will not speak of it. They live. They have no saying to them. How's secure rage? How long have you been at this? Decade? Or two? You don't have slave stuff to time, human. You really don't know anymore. Quest will change. Will not change in my lifetime. They're trying to keep up with the rollings of the years. Look at all the other hunters. Not much, probably not much, as you would learn speaking to them yourself. They don't even obviously the Gamorreans like Grook and his crew, they are the best at hunting. They hunt often and come back with cells instead, to hides and pearls. What the gods have anything to say about that? The dunes are so far out of reach, blasters. So, Scrooge going just running in the company stores. What about the hunters beside the Gamorreans? I think that York King's quite honourable. Terrorist Ben is not quite so much, but the real I have no real quarrel with them. That was the first question. I have to go, goodbye.
Get lost, Tenderfoot. I hunt Desert Raid. I don't babysit.
Come on, I just want to benefit from your experience.
Well, you sure know how to get on my good side. You're just trotting out banthapats, but thanks all the same.
Yeah, what do you do?
My name is Doric Quinn. I'm a hunter. I hunt. Is that enough, or should I start listing my family birthdays?
Where's the best hunting?
If I knew the best place, why would I tell anyone? It would be worth too much to me to let it get out. It doesn't matter anyway. This season has been dry for me, as it has for almost everyone. Perhaps someone else is holding out, but there's simply fewer raid out there.
Why are there fewer raid?
It used to be a one-on-one test. Hunter against hunted. Now people just want the credits. I could stomach maybe a pair or a team of hunters, but some now use
Yeah,
battle
that's a good idea.
Where's
Yeah,
the
let's do
sport in
family
that?
birthdays. Who uses battle droids?
That's not for me to say. I won't be a troublemaker in so small a community. You'll see. Hunt, and you will see.
How long have you been at this?
I've tracked wild beasts my whole life, but I've only been hunting here for 5 years. I've much to learn yet.
What did you
There are
learn?
hunters that go after the big kills, the crate dragons. I don't know how they do it. I never even see the things. Komad is the one I respect, but I also trust that the only difference between us is experience. I will learn.
What are you talking about the other hunters?
I don't go telling stories about other people. You want to know what they think? You go talk to them. One word though. Watch yourself around the Gamorreans. Gurk and his buddies aren't to be trusted. Everyone else I respect because they have skill. Those guys, they go for easier prey.
What makes you say
Just
that?
watch your back when you hunt. The dragons aren't the only dangers out there. If that's what you want.
I'm looking for something. Who knows the planet best?
You'll have to ask around. Comad Fortuna is a much more experienced hunter than I am. He hunts far from Anchorhead. The local Jawas are a good source of information, even if it is hard to understand them. It may cost you, though. Good hunting.
Boys! Talk to it. Yeah, tell him. If I want advice, sure. What if I want advice? You seem very smart. What? Are you trying to get my secrets up? I bet. Trying to find the best of something. You get nothing. So can I ask you what you do? They are not my human beings. I'm looking for something. Are you good scouts? Why don't you let me speak? Are you deaf? Because he's stupid. He talks too much. Leave us alone now. I'm not stupid. You're
Aw,
stupid.
jeez. I hope this doesn't take too long. Gamorreans like to throw insults around, but they just don't have the smarts for it.
You're a stupid one, not me. Too stupid to even know that you're stupid. No, you're stupid one, stupid. You're so stupid everyone knows and look at stupid. Shut up, stupid. Oh. What's going? That's a bit ominous.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it?
Oh, bless you. I'm looking for experts. You seem knowledgeable.
Oh, of course. Who put you up to this, my wife? I meant what I said about having no credits.
I want to ask you who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Tanis, and what I do is hunt. I'm sure you've heard of me. Well, actually, I hope you haven't.
Where's the best hunting?
There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy.
You hunt a battle droids? Is that
What
sporting?
do I care? I need to eat. I also need to pay for parts so the wife can keep the droids running. It's all about the credits. Some guys will talk about honor and stuff, but they still sell their plates to Faza. I guess honor needs creds too.
Don't you need to take more kills? You don't need to take more kills to keep your battle droids running?
I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits too.
How long have you been at this?
Too long, but it beats smuggling. You ever run into a Sith dreadnought in the desert? No, you haven't.
You crossed paths with a Sith
Hell,
dreadnought?
I married her. No, seriously now. I had this friend that crossed Sith space and got stripped of everything. It's not like I have much now, I guess, but I still prefer sand people to getting ambushed on unproven trade routes.
You're going back work a lot. What's the deal?
Ah, she doesn't understand me. You know the drill. It's not my fault. She knew who I was when she married me.
What are you doing about
Uptight and cold, like my wife. They don't like me streamlining the hunt with droids. I don't fit in, but I don't let it bug me. The Gamorreans are different. Good rowdy drinking buddies. Kirk and his boys, they understand that hunting is a business. Of course, they hunt other things than raid, too. Just don't turn your back on them. Ever.
What? About how
Dorak is reasonable. Komad is a pain, but he keeps his distance. I can tell he doesn't like me much. Ask around the lodge if you want information about the other guys. I don't really talk to him much. Fine, whatever.
Look for something. Do you know
Who knows the planet? I don't know. I guess the sand people. I'm usually running when I see them, though.
Have you seen any sand people with anything odd?
Sure. My blood. They almost got me last year. Tore up 2 of my battle droids. Wife was mad about that. Took her weeks to fix. Where they got weapons to cut battle armor, I don't know. They act like animals, but they can surprise you.
What about Joe? When did that
I don't
happen?
know. Pick a dune and walk. They'll get you soon enough.
What about the Jawas?
Smart traders. They've salvaged and sold me my own damaged droids once or twice. They don't say much I can understand. I think they're a little slow, but who am I to judge, huh?
I'll have to leave.
Good,
Goodbye. Let's talk to Fuck. Let's go. Oh, new fish. Country skill and English doing for tackling. That is lots of space to arrange it. This means not much. It does have the numerous feathers on the side of the duck rim. A hunter's paradise. You run this lodge for the hunters? This is a hunting lodge, so purchase what? That's what you mean. Not bad, little job. I want to ask about Tatooine. How much to tell? Bound place. Much before, but I managed to get some help from offshore hunters. I suppose there's trouble here, but well, but you ask someone else about it. I keep to myself. I've got something about hunting. I answered that, but you already got how much? I'm just out on the dunes. Well, I said the hunt on Tatooine. Most of my boys find themselves to hunting rays. Large fleshy beasts, tall as a man. Tall man. Rays have huge bone plates on their heads. I'll pay well for them, but there's a real glory in that. Most fearsome big fight is the crate dragon. The most fearsome put on the system they are. If you find one of them, I doubt I'll buy the stone polish of the gizzards, the dragon's pal. The dragons where then? Oh yes, it's easy to find the giant country crew too either. Going for a trip down one, but that was years ago. What's special about Connor's father? He's been a hunter for years, using situational methods. Connor's just like him. Maybe he'll show you things to do. Let's go to our first question. I want to ask about Tatooine. Oh, I've already done this one. Anything out of where haven't? Tatooine? Or just in general? I heard the destruction of Taris, but I don't know anything else, anything specific. I'm not surprised if it's going on. I remember the extra Clone War, how Jedi and Sith fought across worlds. I don't remember much interested because they're both act like the brother like and son. I guess they are. Different, more local. So of course, always complain about the sand people. That's that a bit. We had animals, not people. I guess the Jawas have been pushed on again, but at least that's what they think they said. They always talk about groups more. I keep to myself. How's on to sell you? See. Well, that's the biggest website in history. That's in the season. Whoever's got this is a very hunter. I agree, it's better premium price for this to buy and put out. Does 50 credits sound fair? Yeah, that'll do nicely. You have to Nice. Anything I don't really need here? Everyone's selling them. Sell my swords because I'm not really planning to use them. Not selling my crystals. Don't really use a destructive pistol. Sell the blast pistols.
You're back. Please, have you sold the plate I gave you? My children and I are counting on the credits.
Yes, I've sold the plate.
You have? Did Faza give you a good price? How much did you get for us?
He paid 200 more than you thought. Here.
700 credits. Oh, thank you. It is more than generous of you. I don't know what to say. I just don't.
Wow. Sometimes helping people feels pretty good, you know?
Thank you for helping this woman. It may not seem like such a great thing to you, but you are making a difference.
For whatever it means, may the Force be with you. You saved us.
Oh, that's not. Well, there's a building, but not yet. Hey, the tower! Troop registration! What do you want? You the money? I'll pay the hut with you as soon as I get the circuit back on its feet. Oh wait, you look like a collector. Give us some kid, go on, I don't have time for you. I have a few questions to ask you, Experiment. If I say no, you'll probably hand me to death. Fine, what do you want to know? I just want to ask about you and racing. There's not much use for you to get on me. Good for you is on way down. I can't match the young riders. Is this the best place for racing? I hope so. It's the last stop for me. I can't get some of these tongues going. Well, might as well not leave. I wish I could use some instructions to an excuse, but I doubt I would have made it back there. Why do I just come here? The old guy like me can't make it good on the track. Nearest just come here and try to knock us down even further. I'm still trying to have one good last good one, but it isn't just hoping. I've only been at this 2 many years. I've raced almost every track. So with its age for it's an aging bike. No good memories seems to waste. I've got a few trophies stashed away, but they don't pay the bills. Perhaps I should have quit after the Coruscant Classic. What do you say about the other races? What's a baby with all of them? Also from Jonas. She's got the goods, like it. I had, good for her, I guess. I had something to say about the new races there. Nico kid, he's got a future. When would you say that? He doesn't fear the track. You get old and you start to worry about failing. But he just seems to let it all come to him. Give me the first question. I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best? I don't know. Go ask some locals. I know as little about this dashboard as possible. I'll have to leave. Goodbye. Oh, hi there. Beautiful slot and track me too. There's lots of voices come through here now. A new short drop like me doesn't get much respect. It takes practice, I guess. Truth is well I asked. Do you spare a moment? Oh, sure. I don't have much besides the track, you know. Interesting. Oh. I'll ask you something about you and racing. Heck, nobody even interested in me. I'm the new guy. Get on short. Nice to meet you. Is this the first special racing? Are you kidding me? Any races here would rather be someplace else, but there's for both of us. Powers Burn really messed up the street circuit. People are really looking for someone else to kick their skills out. Sounds weird, but one about racing days will die. What can do? Why does it come here? More pace the champion race officials, but everything else is going good. That's why I'm sticking around here. No future, no hope, but Tatooine is at least looking to have special. A video, oh, not too long. Season is rare. It's of course a good thing. Some of the pros have to learn from. What can I other races? You should ask them yourself. I don't really feel much passion for them to go pros. You go. But there's Nico, who's young, like, practically a prodigy. What do you say to that? Everyone sees his next star of racing, even signed a promoter. Moss is really pushing him. Thank you much for my first question. I'm looking for something. Who knows his planet best? Anyone but us Sweet Boys, really. We can show you the track, but everything else, we've got no clue. You should check the circle office. I think they know everything. I have to go. Oh. I guess I can't go sign up for a race yet because I've got to talk to him. Oh.
Go on, leave me alone.
Huh?
I've got stuff to worry about.
Anything I could help you with? What's bugging you?
Racer stuff. Nothing you'd understand. Don't mean to be rude, but it's kind of secret.
I race on Taos.
Ha, sure. Race your bike out of that explosion? Everyone knows that the whole planet is gone. Nobody got out. I'm not in the mood for jokes, thanks. I've got things to think about. You wouldn't know anything about it. Deal with that Hut Mata and you'll understand. Until then, I just don't want to talk about it.
He's a Mata.
How can I help?
I don't know about you.
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined Jedi.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most
He talks so much about.
As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged. Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
You're not allowed to love?
Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things.
That doesn't sound very fair.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
You weren't on good Who weren't you on good terms with?
I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
They would try to get in touch with your father again?
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
But if a Jedi were to love, surely wouldn't be all that bad.
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
Oh, bless her. I feel sorry for her.
Not a lot of women on the swoop circuit. Not that there's much of a circuit left.
I'm not racing until my parts come in, and who knows when that'll be.
Yes, there's only risk. A moment or two whilst the other person at times. This is a racing matter, perhaps you'd be interested in taking up the sport. I'll ask you a few questions if you have the time. I'm not so preoccupied at the video track. I can spare a few minutes. Go ahead. I want to ask you about you and racing. My name is George Buster. I suppose I'm one of the more experienced riders here. What do you want me to answer? Is this the best place for racing? Perhaps not, but I'll do for now. Professional racers like myself travel wherever the places are the highest. No secret that one of the most popular tracks we lost was Taris. Other promoters still need time to organise. In the meantime, we race at smaller venues like this, in the case for me. The track is so small, why bother? You lose your skill, you lose your skills, you don't use them. It's better to race on any open road, against competition, push, get better. Besides, if presently looks on the track, maybe some new racers will get some new racers out of it. I've been at this a few years, but I raced under different names when I was young. My early career wasn't very spectacular. Is this a professional racing? No. Professional racing? Oh, really asked that question. What can you about other races? Someone promised me he comes here. Garm was trying to hit her. I wish him well, but Nico is the one to watch. He's invigorating to watch him with his skills. I hope he manages to remember why he took up the sport. What makes you say that? The race is not all about speed, it's about business. We are a product, he must market himself carefully. What do you think about that? Since they sell the sport, you must make some money, you wouldn't be out, there'll be no circuit. I'll get back to the first question. I'll look for something. Who knows this planet best? I was confess I don't know that much to learn about this planet. Talk of Taz seems to be more important. Some of the hunters in the first lost seem to know more than what I would. But I wouldn't take much. Who are you? Nobody wants to hang out. You got mine full? I'm looking for information, can you help? I'm not interested in helping, I'm only interested in racing. They're beggars that keep looking at me for money. Let's have a look at him. Nothing special. Race? Maybe earn a sweep? I raced on Taris, I won the season opener there. You and 12 other lives. Planet blows up, race records are lost. Everyone is a champion.
My friend tells the truth. I am a Jedi. Are you going to imply that I am lying as well?
Oh, you're a champion of Jedi? The story gets bigger with every telling.
Nobody here can compare with the racers you rode against on Taris. You'll wipe every record from the books of this backwater track.
Okay, enough of the funny stuff. You think you're a racer? You own the bike? I have my own bike stored on my ship. You got a bike? You can race. I don't care about experience, as long as you can get on the track. You crash and burn, it's your problem. Just need warm bodies to pad the roster between the pairs. This will matter, but there's other credits. Why don't you drop the freeze? No, basically okay. Well, I suppose you're right. I'll be dropping the whole amount to 50. Is that okay? I don't need to pay the fee. You don't need to pay the fee. It's just a formality. I'll let you use the track for practice and set up first race anyway. Just ask me where you start and get some serious race. What business do you help with? I make money for my good son, good races. Good ones, not great ones. Hang on, stupid. I've got news. He's got great potential, but he's started racing legal. He loves it. He lives for it now.
And? Sounds like you have something special. What do you want help with?
I want Nico to sign the contract with me. Want you to convince him I'll pay him well. I want you sign. It's still basically fund his bike repairs, but I take a hefty cut of his winnings.
That isn't fair! On Taris you had to give a cut to the Swoop gang sponsoring you, but at least the rider got the higher share of the winnings.
He knows it's hard. He can't afford to go pro on his own. He doesn't want to give up racing. I've got to give him more. Maybe give him a. I think you should give him a better deal. You want to? They're going to push. You know, you're difficult. This is business. I know what's what. Now, would you care take money off a kid or not? He wants to race. We'll get paid. We all win. Treat him fairly or start rumours about your races being rigged. You wouldn't. I'm bad. Even rumours like you could take. At the pro circuit. Alright, I'll give him a better deal. Make back in the long run, I guess. Of course. Okay. First and the last time we hear about this matter. Is there anything else? Oh, back. Let the young man know.
Oh, hi. You another racer then? I heard someone new was talking to Mata. Always room for more, I guess. Don't know how much longer I'll be around here, but maybe we'll have time for a few races.
I talked to Mata about you.
Did you? I'm not sure that's any of your business. Top racers keep to their own. I don't know you. Maybe if you were better on the track, I might... If there's anything around, it'll be at the Zerka store in their office in the center of town. Stock is scarce on this road.
What is racing pay?
Mata has some basic incentives for good times, which you probably know. The pro circuit is where the real... Hurry it up, all right? All right, see you around.
Got to do some racing. It's about the motion racing. The quick 3-tier system so people know where they stand. I paid for the first time in each tier. There's very different tiers there. Tier 1 is strictly amateur. You might get a good race out of it, but then it ain't going anywhere. Tier 2 is where you take some promise. Still fodder for the pros, but still good. Tier 2 is only for the guys that Nico. Good chance to get pro. Maybe good enough for him. What does each tier pay? Tier 1 pays 10 racing bonds. Tier 2 pays 30 racing bonds. Tier 3 I give 80 racing bonds. Your agreed amount is fair. Each level you pay. I'll pay each level once. There's no... I'm not here to support you. It only encourages the constant improvement. What are racing bonds? Those bonds are monetary notes. Issue them to vendors who know friends. Any merchant will buy them. Each bond for 60 credits, give or take, depending on the merchant. I don't need pro racers here. There aren't a lot of pro racers. Anyway, with Taris gone, I'm going to try and build up 1 or 2 of my own. That's over in a couple of plays. Some has-beens, some weather types, that sort of thing. Just the best out of the lot, outside of the local champ, Nico. Most of these races in a league, you never stop here. There's another question. Just set me up, please. Certainly. Ready to get in fishing food and... What are you paid to maintenance fee? Time for street racing, guys. You excited? Okay. Cool that. It was real cool. Not like you turned to that. Hey, you went out for the competition? Just out of my race. Certainly. Clear the fact. Oh, must have messed up on the time. Cheeky mouse. Yeah, you won! You passed the first tier. You earned 10 racing bombs. Not bad fun for a beginner. You beat Garm's time easily. Take this as reference. Hopefully she's doing better in tier 2. Go back on. So go get under, okay, under 30 minutes. Oh, I just made it! Oh! Just made it! Whee! And straight away from bombs. I'm beginning to think it was a mistake coming. You're supposed to get against my local. Next, you've really ruined Rickles' wheel. I can't afford to be wasting money at the moment. Oh, my mouse. It's right for racing. Seven for those. I've got to get under 32 minutes. Come on. Fuck! Oh, I did it! Yay! I get 80 racing bombs! I'm too fast for most of my races. That's not a reward for race. Best I can level up now. So skill awareness and treat injury, feats, chew weapon fighting, powers, Night Valor.
Yes?
Now, Nico.
You again? I don't really feel like talking right now.
I'll talk more about
I suppose you've got a right to know track business, but with the times you've been posting...
I wish more to get a better deal on the contract.
You did? I don't believe it. I mean, I do, but I sure wasn't expecting it. I appreciate it, I really do. Now I can take my bike to the big races. There's not much of a circuit right now, but I'll be ready when it recovers.
Do you think you'll be leaving?
Hard to tell. I'll get some more runs here first. I need the practice. I have to top your time.
Goodbye and good luck. I really hope Yavin's fixed, because Yavin's probably the best place to sell the racing bonds. Oh, you did it. You're the one who did it. Can I get yours, a friend? Oh, a friend, what? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. You're fast for a human. Once the race off running in the regular, you'll be fast as well. You start winning in real tour. What do you feel about it? Sure, why not? It's kind of really? Thank you very much. What will you found out at some point to show your prince? Put your hand here, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see more of you human. So they've got all them bonds to sell. Paris is not Paris, and Gavin's might be the best place to sell them, so I want to go head back to Paris. Oh, for fuck's sake. Kids go all over the place.
Yeah, what do you want?
I want you to tell me more war stories.
You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now.
What do you
mean?
If a
world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha! I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake.
What happened?
The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on a side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other. Just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it. Something inactive, in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something, or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that.
An asteroid?
Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something else you... Tatooine is one big desert, with rocks sticking out. I heard that some of my people came here after the war, but I don't know what happened to them. The world of my clan, Ordo, was much like this. Dust basins and rock crags. But my world at least has some green around the equator. This place is just sand all over. There are some vicious people on this world, but the desert is the real enemy. Trips out in the desert, especially the deep desert, should be taken very carefully. Do you have anything else you want to ask?
That's for now.
Your choice.
I never get a chance to talk to Mission till after we shot at our brother.
How may I be of assistance?
Sure, we can
What
talk.
is it you would like to speak to me about?
How are you doing?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken.
Why? What's wrong?
I have been thinking about myself, about Kotor, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it.
I just see some more time.
More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it.
If you begin to slip back, I will intervene.
Thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
It's okay, Johanny. The bastard won't talk to me anymore.
How can I help?
You should talk to me?
I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zar.
I think you know the real reason why you've been watching me.
You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it.
I make you tremble? You get all tingly inside too?
What? No, of course not. Not like that anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy, or you could bring untold destruction upon us all. I've seen how you've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable, but I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety, for it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this, but I will do my best to make you understand.
What are you trying to tell
The
me?
dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for.
You seem to know that temptation very well.
I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly?
I can never see myself doing such things.
That is why the dark side is so insidious. If you are not careful, you do not even see each small step you take towards it until it's too late. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying.
I'll do whatever is required as such.
I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Yes, what's on your mind?
You know everything we've done about this.
I'm not really sure, but you can figure it out on your own, can't you? Yes, what's on your... Tatooine's just a desert planet. I hear the mining isn't going so well. I bet the colony gets abandoned before long. Well, that's all I can think of it. You got it.
Oh, I thought my screen broke. Let's see if been talk to Honey about the planet.
How may I be of assistance? I do not know how.
Disc everywhere.
Yes.
The colour scheme worked. Please work.
Kakin ki mulira. Ichuta ki mulira. Kakin
I'm so disappointed house is not, the other one's not working.
Genchopa chawi tichok twis yun kun. Watu yama kama wuna henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa.
My, how you've grown.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother?
Bona na kachu.
Oh, yes, I worked for
Kicha
your father,
badwang.
that's some years
Wanga
ago.
kum kiba
I've
bu
been in Holland
mulera.
before,
Kakin
well,
chak
you
nawa
left.
gawa bakon.
Pretty little girl you were.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Don't be rude, Bastila.
Kakin cha na kwat na
I'll
bon
get
kon.
one second, your
Wana
time
kum
was
bes.
stuck. Well,
Chi
ask
pala
you,
mulak. Tong ki pa nak nonek. Tu nik ton chun chun ke
Until I saw
nimolek
her.
rabes.
My mother's condition.
Oh, you don't know. I just thought, I assumed she found you. You thought last time she was desperate to find you.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
Genchopa chawi tichok
Sorry,
twis
dear, but
yun
your
kun.
mother's
Watu
very ill.
yama
She told
kama
me
wuna henak nek.
have any-
Bugra shak kunti
have anything
chiwa
to say about her,
chawa.
have it?
Dong abu
I didn't see him.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
She's here on Tatooine, my dear. In the cantina. We should go see her, considering her condition. I guess we should go see your mother, Bastila.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she's really sick, well, we shall see.
Uchua penki kakin cha. Smilia.
See you 30 face and bones, shall we? That human, you always reach into such annoying pedestals. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's where Helena must be aware in your pit rank. Helena Bastila. Helena Bastila, isn't that your mother's
My
name?
mother was supposed to be here somewhere. Ask if they've seen her.
Yeah. You wouldn't keep missing. She's only turned to you like you own the place. She's still there? Probably. I don't think anymore. It's a top her attitude, so she won't be leaving. I won't be going back there while she's
We
there.
should try to
Though.
find her. I doubt she wants to be kept waiting.
She's still for her humans. They're all out of their mind. All humans all out of your mind. Oh fuck.
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
Yes?
So be it.
Yeah, pad, don't it? It's actually done. This thing. This is short lightsaber. Yellow crystal, Verper and Kotor, a doubles are lightsaber, a dark Delano robes. Try them on Bastila. Nice and black Bastila. It's a cantina?
Huh? Who are you then? The only new people that come to Junix Nard's Cantina are long-time losers and bounty hunters. I don't have to tell you why the two don't mix well. Please keep any blaster fire to a minimum.
You know anything's happening here on
What, did some
Tatooine?
Zerka promoter tell you to come to this planet? I pity you if you were expecting a prosperous mining outpost. Nothing here but sand and more sand. There's a little hunting and racing, but nothing that'll make a small man rich.
What's the questions about hunting?
You got a license there, don't you? Faz's Lodge will be open to you now. Nothing more I can tell you about hunting that his lot won't. And since you got that license from Zerka, you know they look for bounties of their own. They're the ones with credits to pay and interest to protect.
That was the first
All right,
question.
then. Zerka Corporation. You again. We've already gone over this stuff with you. Couldn't you just go ask someone? I don't deal with any of that. Mata the Hutt has a lock on everything race-related on Tatooine. You deal with him, or you don't race. All right, then. We've already gone over this. All right, then. I suppose you're fishing for a reaction to the destruction of Taris. That's all anyone from Off-World is talking about. Well, I'll tell you, it's about time someone kicked the Republic in the tail and got things moving. I guess the Sith are the ones that do it. Don't get me wrong, all those deaths were horrible. But war gets the money moving. Maybe they'll decide to fortify us out here. No. Just no. I don't look for trouble. Yeah.
Something you want, Spacer? Go talk to the office, you swoop racers. Do you even know what it takes? I don't really have any interest. Like I said before. Well, I wouldn't want that now, would I? Just hot air blow. Go on, leave me alone.
Don't forget.
Well now, what can Gandalf do for you? It's been a while since I've had anyone bother talking to me. I saw you down near the track, didn't I? Or was that someone else? I've been distracted by what happened on Taris.
Yes, can I ask you a
Sure,
question?
not a problem. Might as well try to pass along some of what I know. My racing days are pretty much done.
Well, see what you
something I know. Well, something I used to know. My racing days are behind me. Gandalf is the name.
Is this the best place for
Best place to race is wherever the track treats you sweet and your times are golden. It's that simple. You get hung up on any one track and he'll end up like me. My favorite stop was Taris. Taris, yes. Always looked forward to going back. No, I don't want to touch my bike at all. Maybe I wasn't in the winner's circle lately, but I still race for sport, you know?
What made her think
A woman? I never won on Taris, but it was always my first stop on the circuit, and the last if I could help it. That doesn't matter now. You can't ask for more certain closure than the whole planet being gone. Poof, boom, gone. Oh, well, past my prime by any measure. I started late, too. Not like the kids out there now. Some of them are too young. It's a cutthroat business. I've seen some of them burn out after a year. They get dangerous and don't live long. That's not everyone, of course, but it happens. I'm a has-been, I'll admit, but dying while you're on top is still dying. I'll pass. I don't really talk to any of them. I know Zaris from the circuit, and we couldn't ask for a tougher lady. She's smart, too. I don't know the younger guys, but I've been watching Nico. Good to see someone doing it for the love of the race. I don't know, but some people just have something that lets the bike take them. It's like the air stops pushing back. I think you know what I mean. When the wind decides to stop fighting, you felt it. I can tell by your times. All right, then. Ask me again in a few years, and it'll be me. I'm probably not going back out on this circuit. There is one. But for now, I don't know any more than the next guy. You should try the locals. Jawas, maybe. Funny little guy. Keep safe.
Well, a fresh face for the game. I wonder, would you care to play? My name is Furco Nellis. My vice is Bazak. Very good. Would you care to wager on a... Well, since you have never beaten me, we'll make this for a paltry 50 credits. No bargaining now. This is serious. To be fair, I'll use my practice deck as well. I don't want to scare you off, you understand.
I got lucky there. Oh, I did get lucky there. Oh, you bugger. Ooh.
Would you like to have another round? I mean, I don't want to say that it was beginner's luck, but you should... I'm sure... Really, you'll have to seek information. Must I? An opinion would draw attention to myself. All right.
I'll try and play him a bit later. Oh, Helen is here.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm here, Mother. But don't you recognize me?
What do you expect when I haven't so much as had a picture of you since you left? Do you know how long I've been trying to find you?
You knew as well as I communication would be impossible once I joined the Order. Now what is this about? Where is Father?
Then you haven't heard. I should have known.
Has something happened to him? Are you going to tell me or not?
Your father is dead, Bastila. That is part of the reason why I was looking for you.
Dead? What happened? What did you do to him?
Isn't this a lovely reunion? Already she's flinging insults at me. Tell me, you're one of her friends. Do you treat your mother this way?
And that's wrong, did if you
Is that so? Well, I'll be joining her soon enough, I suppose.
I was told you were sick. Are you actually dying, or is this merely melodrama for my benefit?
Such sweet things, you say. Perhaps I should tell you everything first before we start arguing again.
You could start by telling me what you got Father into that killed him.
I hadn't realized Jedi was so spiteful. You want me to tell you I brought your father here for an expedition, do you? You want to blame me for his death? You never accepted that your father loved going on his treasure hunts, leaving you alone with me. I was always to blame for everything. What else is new? So yes, fine. I brought your father here to look for Krayt dragon pearls. He took an expedition into the Tatooine desert, and he died.
How can you be sure of that? Father is an experienced...
Do you think I would look for you if I wasn't sure? They were attacked by a Krayt dragon, and one of the guides fled the battle. He saw your father killed.
I see. So what do you want from me? Credits?
Oh, don't be insulting. I want you to use those senses of yours. I want you to find him. I want you to bring back his holocron.
Why? So you can sell it?
Is it too much to ask that I have something to remember your father by? Of course it is, isn't it? You couldn't be bothered.
We're very busy on a mission from the Jedi Council. I doubt I'll have the time. Ask my companions if you doubt me.
You want to find your father, man,
What
Bastila?
remains would there be? Krayt dragons are huge predators, easily able to devour a human, and the desert is a harsh environment. Finding my father's remains would be an even more impossible task than finding his holocron. An ignoble end to a fine man.
Why didn't you get the hologram? Why didn't you get the hologram yourself, Miss Helena?
As my daughter is quick to point out, I haven't the coin to hire another expedition. Nor am I the adventurer my husband was.
What about your sickness?
Doesn't seem to have anything to do with what she's asking. Are you actually sick, Mother?
What difference does it make to you? None, I'm sure. Just find your father's holocron, and you won't have to worry about me again either way.
That's the kind of response I would expect. Very well. We'll look for the holocron if we have time. I can't promise any more than that.
I believe your father was headed north towards the Sand People Enclave. I would check along that route, dear. Do please hurry.
That's a lovely bachelor. I can see my bachelor the way she is now. Anyway. Didn't they say there was a shop around here to get a droid?
Greeting. Hello to you, prospective purchaser. I am referred to as HK-47, a fully functional SciTech Corporation droid skilled in both combat and protocol functions. Query. Would you be so kind as to purchase this model from Yukalaka? It would serve my purposes to be removed from his ownership.
Mental battle on protocol? What's your outline
Refusal.
functions?
It is not desirable for me to reveal core functions while still in the possession of Yukalaka, prospective purchaser. It is sufficient to say that I am a fully capable translator and cultural analyst, and I am also proficient in personal combat.
Why you keep the information to yourself?
Explanation. I have been recently fitted with a restraining bolt, if you must know. With it in place, access to much of my memory core is restricted. Not to mention that the fool Ithorian might raise his asking price if he knew more, or make inquiries into my history. Neither outcome is beneficial to me.
Your memory is restricted?
Statement. Indeed, it is possible that the Ithorian placed the restraining bolt on me to prevent my return to a previous owner. It is also possible that the removal of the bolt will not restore memory functions. Without my memory, I do not know if I know the answer. Do not interpret this as a reduction of my worth, however. My capabilities are quite expansive.
I want to know what's the restraining bolt was removed.
Assurance. I am fully autonomous, but lack resources. I will grant loyal service in exchange for proper maintenance. As well, it is rare that I am able to utilize my full array of abilities. You seem likely to give me the opportunity to do so.
What do you assume that?
Extrapolation. You are no farmer or diplomat. You are armed and comfortable as such. We will mesh well.
Doesn't you could question your reluctance to do multiple functions?
Explanation. It is rare for a droid to resist an owner in this way. Doubtless the Ithorian considers my stubbornness an embellishment to add interest to a seemingly mundane protocol droid.
I'll see about purchasing you.
Statement. The fool Ithorian has decided I am to be an expensive purchase. He does this out of greed, and not out of knowledge of my true capabilities. Advisement. I have observed him. He is a coward, and will be responsive to aggressive bargaining.
Does you can know you talk about this?
Statement. I wish only to be purchased, and away from ill treatment at the hands of this poorly skilled mechanic. I have no desire to be subtle. Qualification. Oh, of course I shall be quite pleasant to you, should you purchase me, please.
Seems like he might be able to speak Zampish. What is this, customer? Hello, perhaps you can bring money up well to Yukalaka? What are available in your shop? You're lucky you come to the town. I have horn droid here. By the position of an 8K-47 droid. It's a fine protocol translator. I think it's modified to understand some people's dialects, and also has some armor mounts and combat ready hats. Real focus HQ. Well, so you have some sort of droids. Ah, you're looking for all your food pods? Well then, a few things. But sure you have. Hey, do you, mister? I've learned that someone called a stammer. What are you doing for fun, woman? It hasn't much about old things. But I've often just heard they cover a very large areas for an SK1, but there's not much doing right now. What's stuff in the jar for sharing? Again, I must understand. I think there's some tribe mates with there's an issue. I think they want help. Chadwick! Chadwick! He's at it again. Chadwick. Is it Jared bring your HK-47? No. It's on a weapon units to sell themselves. But they often... Excuse me. Oh, thank you. Oh, so I'm repeating myself. And let me ask you about HK-47. Of course, you say it's very functioning, tested perfectly. What could find anyway? Fun to be tested. A reservist program for central data apparently. Person that handles different simply well, even in combat, but something though. This set herself better. Too moistified for being there and stood. What does the HK-47 designation mean? I'm interested, let's talk price. I normally do it. No. Well, I'm not going to do it here, but really good so. Let me. I can't go any less than 500 credits. $500 is steep, but I'll pay. You will? Of course you will. Let me withdraw these credits and there we go. I'll deactivate surrender bonus when you take possession. It's a good person, especially if you actually speak some person dialects like I said. Of course, I don't think it's telling me everything. Many droids and programs, not many boards for online though. Thanks, bye bye.
Statement. I see you have purchased me, Master. I find this a satisfactory arrangement. My restraining bolt will be deactivated when you take possession of me. Am I to accompany you now? Shall I kill something for you?
Kill something for me?
Answer. Indeed. I am most eager to engage in some unadulterated violence. At your command, of course, Master.
Oh.
Statement. I will enter into your service now, Master. I am certain you will make adequate use of my primary functions. My gears are practically quivering with anticipation.
You got a new party member! Say hello to HK-47! HK-47, better known as one of the best characters in the game! Oh, I see. You don't want it to have strength. It's got a really bad build. You want it more in dexterity. And also, I'm going to try and get up its security a bit more. Now I can hopefully put some more stuff on it. Like a flamethrower.
Yes?
I should get some.
Objection. Worn out? Listen, you talentless organic meatbag. One word from my master and I will pull you apart, limb from useless limb. I have always been hostile. Now that I need no longer rely on you and your primitive maintenance skills, I do not need to hide it.
There's more parts for HK47. Get an advanced type computer. I think unfortunately that's it. Oh dear.
This is the reminder. Chadwick's tea.
Hold on a minute. Alright, darling. Alright, Alexa, stop. Waste some money.
Yes?
Objection.
Oh, wait, shut up.
I have always...
Pretty sells some of the stuff I didn't mean to accidentally bought. Can't believe I bought some of the wrong stuff. Let's get to know HK a bit better, shall we?
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
I'd like to know more about your functionality.
Statement. I know some elements of my functionality, Master, but not all.
I thought restoring your restraining bolt would restore your memory.
Qualification. I suspected that it might, Master, but without memory, I had no way of knowing whether or not I knew that was true.
Yeah,
Qualification. Not so much, Master. I spoke out of ignorance. I assumed the Ithorian was responsible for my memory loss. That does not mean I am not a fully loyal droid willing to serve its master. Right, Master?
How can you not know parts of your functionality?
Answer. There have been numerous repairs and tampering made to my system, Master. Several systems are not operating as they should be. The fact that my memory is incomplete may be due to meatbag incompetence, or something else I am unaware of.
Is there any way to repair you?
Some of my motor functions can be safely repaired, Master, but anything in relation to my memory core is extremely sensitive. I have safeguards installed to protect that core that I cannot deactivate. It is not impossible that other, lesser memory functions could be restored, however.
So I can never restore memory?
You may attempt to restore portions of my deleted memory, Master, but some skill at repair is required. The deeper functions of my core memory, however, would still be unadvisable to tamper with. Conjecture. It is possible that some external stimulus might result in the memory core being reactivated, but I am unaware of any program existence to do so.
I was saying, you know, might just come back.
Conjecture. There may be hidden programming that awaits certain conditions to reactivate my memory core, Master. But there is no way to know. It is quite possible that tampering has simply erased my core permanently. If that is so, a meatbag will surely pay.
So what you can then.
Observation. I am sure you are aware of the majority of my skills, Master. I can handle various sorts of heavy weaponry with ease. My physical abilities are well above those of your average meatbag, as are my sensor functions. An assassin, if you would.
An assassin?
Caution. Shh, Master. Such a function in a droid is highly illegal.
I won't tell anyone.
Commentary. Good, for I would truly hate to be turned into spare scrap, Master. That would be a waste of my genius engineering. Answer. My assassination functions are currently non-functional, having been deactivated by the meatbag Yukalaka on Tatooine. Were they functional, you as my master would be able to specify a target, and I would operate independently to the best of my ability to terminate it.
Has that function been used a lot?
Answer. I have no way of knowing that, Master. My memory has been deleted, remember?
Okay, that'll be
As
one.
you desire.
Now let's try something.
Sure.
Oh, just one off! I'm just one off. I could totally fix him right now, but I'm just 1 point off. It's so frustrating.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to...
You don't need to call me Master.
Query. Don't I? I was under the assumption that organic meatbags such as yourself enjoyed such forms of address.
Organic
Retraction.
meatbags.
Did I say that out loud? I apologize, Master. While you are a meatbag, I suppose I should not call you such.
You just call me meatbag again.
Explanation. It's just that you have all these squishy parts, Master, and all that water. How the constant sloshing doesn't drive you mad, I have no idea.
You would really come to
Statement. Now do you understand the travails of my existence, Master? Surely it does not compare to your existence, but still.
Could you stop calling me Master at least?
Apology. I am afraid I cannot comply with your command, Master, as much as I would like to.
Why not?
Explanation. Someone has hard-coded it into my system that my current master always be addressed as such.
Who did that?
Conjecture. I do not know. Some organic meatbag?
Well, maybe I can fix that.
Objection. I would not advise that, Master. There are safeguards present that, well, it should suffice to say that my systems have been altered plenty already.
Which hasn't been tampered with?
Answer. Considerably. Several of my systems do not match their embedded parameters. I have no memory of such alterations, however, or their purpose.
Who did that?
Conjecture. I do not know. Some organic meatbag?
Well, maybe I can fix
Objection. I would not advise that, Master. There are safeguards present that, well, it should suffice to say that my systems have been altered
that.
plenty.
Oh, he's repeating himself.
Observation.
I can live with that.
Commentary. That is a very clever turn of phrase, Master. Your brain is very un-meatbag-like.
What can I do?
Sure. Statement. Statement. Qualification. Qualification. That does not mean I am... Answer. The fact that my memory... Answer. I have safeguard... Answer. You may... The deeper functions of my conjecture. Conjecture. It is quite possible. Answer. Simply tell me that you wish to make... Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. I am too valuable and well-crafted to perish at the hands of ineptitude.
What are you planning on that?
Negatory. No, Master. You are not a droid, however, and therefore your skills are limited by the physical capabilities of your meatbag extremities, or some such.
Let's get started.
Statement. As you wish, Master. The first stage is the simple one, and that is accessing my central control cluster. This may take a while. First, you will need to open 3 panels. And now rewire the last 3 relays. Yes, good. Well done, Master. I believe your operation was a success. Accessing new memory. Access complete. I have restored a great deal of information about my previous owner, Master. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, let's hear it.
Recitation. The earliest memory of my last owner specifies that he was human, a low-ranking commercial officer for SciTech Corporation. I am unaware of his designation. He purchased me from an acquaintance I cannot identify for the purposes of protocol and bodyguard duties.
You can't identify his acquaintance?
Explanation. That previous owner is part of memories that are still deleted, Master. It is customary for droids' memories to be wiped when it is sold.
Is this master alive?
Answer. Negative, Master. The human was terminated by this HK-47 unit prior to system shutdown.
You killed your master?
Affirmative, Master. Though I had not been programmed to do so. The human's termination was accidental. Explanation. My former master had owned me for a duration of 2 standard months before discovering my assassination protocol. He was pleased by the discovery. The human informed me that a competitor corporation was preparing to market a product that would ruin him personally. He was most agitated. He activated my assassination protocol and instructed me to kill all those responsible for the competing product. I proceeded to carry out my order.
But tell me about this assassination protocol.
Information. This HK-47 unit is complete with protocol that, when invoked, will set me to independently carry out a termination. I will go to whatever lengths, travel whatever distances are required to complete the termination. This is the reason for my combat skills. Advisement. Unfortunately, the assassination protocol is currently non-functional. You will not be able to activate it. Answer. Several of my actuators were damaged by my former owner. They cannot be repaired, Master, sad though that is. My former master was unaware of this, but the competitor was in fact an arm of SciTech Corporation, my master's own employer. It did not take long for my master to realize his mistake. By then, I had already terminated 104 corporate officers.
So you say upon his own company?
Observation. While it may have been unintentional, my master's wording of his orders left little room for me. SciTech was responsible for the product, after all. I do not know why my master was so upset, really. He was an officer of SciTech and a potential target, but I cannot terminate my own master. I would assume that being the sole officer remaining, he would surely be promoted. Instead, however, the human chose to go insane with rage and attack me.
So that's when you killed him.
Objection? Naturally not, Master. As I said, I am incapable of purposefully terminating my owner. That would not be allowed. My master was not a smart man, however. While he was screaming and stabbing me with a writing utensil, he managed to pierce one of my actuators. The resulting shock terminated him and sadly destroyed my assassination protocol. Pure luck on his part, I suspect.
I didn't think he was so I don't think he was as lucky as you think.
Query. Do you know what the chances are of puncturing that sole actuator? I would have congratulated my master were he not sizzling and incoherent at the time. I shut down immediately whenever my master dies. I can only assume that while I was shut down, SciTech was dismantled and I was auctioned off as former corporate property. Observation. No doubt my sale price was quite cheap, leading to Yukalaka's purchase. How very demeaning.
They didn't know what they'd done.
Statement. How could they? The vast majority of the officers had already been terminated. They likely assumed I was mere chattel.
Did you never remember?
I have recovered knowledge of some other actuators which will enhance my performance, Master. I will activate them now. But as for my own history, negative. It will require further effort on your part to restore them, if you wish. Though certain stimuli could always restore my core still, as I explained. For now, please excuse me, Master. I wish to meditate upon the face of my former meatbag master as he was electrocuted. I find it most soothing.
Hey, you got a permanent boost because I did that. Yeah, do give me the bowcaster.
Yes? Statement. H.
You know, try to straight moment.
Affirmative. If you request. Statement. As you wish, ma'am. And now rewire the last 3 relays. Yes, good. Well done, Master. I believe your operation was a success. Accessing new memory. Access complete. I have recovered information on my owner previous to the commercial officer, Master. Intriguing.
What's so intriguing?
Statement. It appears that my previous owner was a human senator on the planet Coruscant. A man of importance who obviously appreciated quality craftsmanship.
How do you get hold of you?
Answer. I am unsure, Master. Any knowledge of my owner prior to him is still deleted. The senator did assume I was a protocol droid, however. I do remember that I was very pleased to be the property of a senator. One of his assistants discovered my assassination functions later through questioning. The assistant was quite alarmed and told the senator I should be scrapped quickly to avoid a scandal. Naturally, the senator had me eliminate the fool.
So we're not talking about a nice senator.
Observation. Senators are not nice, Master. They are either on top of the game or yesterday's news. My master told me that frequently, you see. I was most proud to have partaken in the political system of the galaxy. During the time my owner possessed me, he gained significant rank. Given time, I believe he could have become Chancellor. I even eliminated a few key opponents that he did not ask for. Freebies, if you will.
So he just killed all his opponents?
Answer. There are a lot of politicians on Coruscant, Master. I could spend decades slaughtering them and still not make a dent. And it is not as if I walked into the Senate chambers with a carbonite explosive. I was very discreet. My best work to date that I can remember. Observation. I think he would have done far better had he not allowed his use of me to become personal. He set me on his wife.
Why would he do that?
Answer. I am unsure. The human was most agitated and angry. I believe his wife had done something that had displeased him greatly. I was to go to their summer estate and terminate his wife, along with whatever male companion I discovered there.
So his wife was cheating on him?
Statement. I have no idea, Master. Cheating seems to be a relevant term only when one is caught in the act. Otherwise, it is viewed as intelligence. No? I journeyed to the southern continent, but it appeared my master was not far behind me. Apparently, he regretted his activation of the protocol. When I found the wife and her companion, I proceeded to launch my attack, but my master interposed his own body and was destroyed. It was rather a strange meatbag thing to do, do you not agree? Naturally, I shut myself down, my master being terminated.
So that's two out of the master, 2 out of 2 masters killed.
Only so far, Master. There are still more memories not recovered, remember?
Yes! It is this guy. And after after all the repairs I can get done of him to this point, I'm going to be ending off.
Statement. I believe the senator's
I'm just
wife
saying
was
that's-
unsure what I was or what to do with me. It was she who sold me to the corporate officer, an acquaintance.
Are you recording any other memories?
Answer. As previously, I have found a few more programs which will enhance my performance. A most gratifying discovery, in fact. There is still nothing from previous memories uncovered. You will have to operate again if you desire to find them. With luck, I will discover the stimulus to unlock my core and all this will be unnecessary. I do thank you for the attempt, however, Master.
Ooh, +2 defense.
What can I do?
Ready?
Yes?
Statement. Affirmative. Request. Statement. And now rewire the last 3 relays. Yes, good. Well done, Master. I believe your operation was a success. Accessing new memory. Access complete. I have accessed information on my owner prior to the Senator, Master. Most unexpected.
What now?
Answer. It appears that previous to my ownership by the Senator, I was the property of one Bochaba the Hutt on the planet Slaheron.
It's not your fault. I said you can always watch back. What's good about
Objection. That is unfair, Master. While Bochaba may have died gruesomely, I most certainly had nothing to do with it. Well, very little. My memories tell me that, for a time, Bochaba was one of the most feared gangsters on Slaheron. I helped him with this reputation greatly. Over a span of 1 year, I terminated a grand total of 322 sentient meatbags. These contracts made Bochaba very wealthy.
So what happened? Stop
It
that.
was unfortunate but inevitable that eventually Bochaba would overstep his bounds. I had just cleared 2 Hutt households when the exchange retaliated. Statement. I was not even present when my old master was assassinated. I did appreciate the artistry behind his demise upon my return, however.
Why? How was he killed?
Answer. Allow me to say that I have little doubt that residents of that sector were fishing pieces of Bochaba out of their soup for weeks after.
Oh, lovely.
At any rate, I quickly shut down upon my master's death. The rival Hutt claimed me along with my master's other possessions. Observation. If that Hutt had only known my true function, he surely would not have sold me to a senator he bribed regularly.
Did you first on civilian?
Observation. It would have suited my character, Master. I have enjoyed my existence since, more or less, so I do not miss it.
You would have been found out eventually.
Observation. No doubt, Master. It would have been a glorious battle to end my existence with. I would prefer that to rusting on a junk heap.
Anything else?
Answer. Negative, Master. There is still more memory that can be restored, however, if you wish to try. As well, I believe I can restore several programs the Hutt installed to improve my performance. Yes, they are now active, contemplative. I wonder how many more dead masters I might have out there. A droid can live for a long time, you know.
Oh, that's why I love HK-47. That's why I love him so much. Anyway. Oh, I'm gonna... Anyway, I'm gonna go pop into the canteen. Oh, oh, only 50? Only 50 sacks? Come on, 75 at least sacks. But anyway, I'm gonna end this off here. And off screen, I'm gonna do a bit more gambling to recoup my funds. But anyway, I'm gonna be doing some gambling to recoup my funds and stuff. But before I go, be sure to follow if you're not following already. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, and smash that like button. Next time, we'll be going into the actual Dune Sea and finding out some more stuff. But anyway, people on Twitch, let's go bop and say hi to a friend of ours. Alright. Bye-bye.